Okay, Stepping Stones lesson 11.4. It is asking you to subtract mixed numbers, but there are two ways of doing this. We can subtract 3 3/4, take away 1 5/8, either as the mixed numbers as they are method, or changing them to improper fractions and doing it. I'm going to show you both ways. I'm going to start with the mixed numbers because that's the method I prefer if I were given this problem. It's also, I feel, the easier one. So what we do is I look at my whole numbers first and I say, okay, I'm just going to subtract my whole numbers first from each other. So I have 3 take away 1, and that gives me the whole number 2. Alright, now I'm left with my fraction parts. So I then say, what is 3/4 take away 5/8? Now they do not have the same denominator, so I'm going to make my quarters equal to eighths first. I'll do that up here actually. So I've got my 3/4 equals how many eighths? And you know what I always say, whatever you do to the bottom you have to do to the top, or whatever you do to the top you have to do to the bottom, doesn't matter. But these are the two numbers I have. So from 4 to 8 I've times 4 by 2, so I have to do the same to the numerator. 3 times 2 is 6. Therefore my 3/4 has the same value as 6/8. So now I'm going to write 6/8 here instead of 3/4 because they're the same. And I've still to subtract. The only thing I've left to subtract is my 5/8. So I write 5/8 here. Now remember, we've already dealt with the whole numbers, so I don't have to do anything with that. I just have to do 6/8 take away 5/8, which you know is 1/8. But when I write the answer, I have, of course, got to include my whole number, 2 wholes and 1/8. And that's the answer. If I do it as an improper fraction, let me just get rid of that scribble, that was a mistake. And let's change the colour, and let's have blue this time. Okay, if I'm doing it with my improper fractions, then I have to change both these amounts to improper fractions. I'm going to do, actually, sorry, before I do that, I'm going to change my 3/4 to be equal to eighths. Alright, I think that's the easier way to do it. There are different denominators. With adding or subtracting fractions, they have to have the same denominator. So straight away, I'm going to change that to eighths. And we already know, using this method, that 3/4 is the same as 6/8. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3 wholes. Don't know what happened to my blue. There we are. 3 wholes and 6/8, because 3/4 is the same as 6/8. Take away 1 5/8. But they're insisting that you show them how to do it as improper fractions. Now I'm going to change it to improper. Now, so how many eighths do I have all together? Well, in 3 whole cakes, you're going to have 8/8 and 8/8 and 8/8. You're going to have 3 lots of 8, which is 24/8. 3 times 8 is 24. And you've got 6. 24 add on 6. Have you got it? Yes, you're right, it's 30. I now have 38. This amount is the same value as this. Right? Subtract 1 5/8. I now change that to improper. So in 1 whole cake, I've got 8/8. Plus I've got 5/8 more. 8 add on 5 is, 13. So what I've done is, remember the rule, 8 times 1 is 8, add on 5 is 13. So I'm going to take away 13. They've already got the same denominator because I changed that at the beginning. I changed my 3/4 to eighths. Therefore, all I have to do is 30 take away 13. And 30 take away 13 Do you know? Yes, it's 17. 17 eighths, which is your answer as an improper fraction. Now, of course, always check. 17 eighths should be the same value as 2 wholes and 1/8, and it is, because in 2 whole cakes, I've got 8 eighths in one of the holes, another 8 eighths in the other cake, which is 16 eighths. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 eighths, add on 1/8 is 17 eighths. And if you wanted to convert the mixed number to, the improper fraction to the mixed number, remember this line also means divided by. 17 divided by 8 is 2 wholes, remainder 1. And because we're dividing by 8, it's worth 1/8. These two values are the same. Okay, let's go on to the next example. Okay, the next question in the exercise asks, what is 4 1/3 take away or subtract 2 1/6? So they want the difference between the two amounts. If we do it as mixed numbers, I'm going to take my whole numbers, just deal with the whole numbers first. 4 take away 2 is the whole number 2. Then I'm just left with the fractional parts. So it's 1/3 take away 1/6. Oh no, they don't have the same denominator. We have to give them the same denominator. I am therefore going to change my third to equal sixths. 1/3 equals, there I had to times by 2, so here I have to times by 2. 2/6. So instead of writing 1/3, I can write 2/6 because they're the same. Now I've got 2/6 take away 1/6, because remember we've already dealt with this here. We've just forget about those now. It's just these two we're looking at. 2/6 take away 1/6 is 1/6. But when I write the answer, I include my whole number because that's part of the answer, and 1/6. Now they want you to do it as improper fractions. I'm going to change my third to sixths first, so they have the same denominator, and we know it was 2/6. So now I'll rewrite it as 4 2/6. Take away 2 1/6. To change them to improper, I have to know how many sixths I have all together here. Well, in 4 wholes, in 4 whole cakes, I've got 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So it's 4 lots of 6, which is 24 sixths. Add on 2 is 26 sixths. Gosh, this is difficult to say. What a mouthful that was. 26 sixths subtract. How many sixths do I have altogether here? Within 2 whole cakes, I've got 6 sixths and 6 sixths, which is 12 sixths. 6 2s are 12. And the 1/6 here, altogether I have 13 sixths. Now all I have to do is subtract, because they have the same denominator. I just have to subtract the top numbers. 26 take away 13 is 13. And they're sixths we're talking about. And as you should see, they are equal amounts. 2 wholes and 1/6. 2 times 6 is 12 and 1 is 13 is 13 sixths. 13 divided by 6 is 2 wholes with 1/6 left over. And that's how they want you to do it. Good luck with the lesson 11.4, boys and girls. Thanks for watching.